78% of suicide rates worldwide are men. What can we do to help them? Help get them jobs and open up about what's going on in their lives. Just throw out a simple compliment every once in a while. A girl yelled, "My friend thinks you're cute," at me from across a parking lot a few weeks ago, and it still brightens my day whenever I think about it. We rarely get compliments, and it really sticks with us when we get one, even if it's from another dude. Plant trees. It is scientifically proven that trees make people happy. Something I've noticed with men that I've been in relationships with is that they don't share their feelings with their friends. When they hang out with friends, they laugh and joke and have a good time, but they reserve all emotional talk and support for their partner. Now, what is a guy to do when he doesn't have a partner? I think that encouraging boys and men to be more open with their friends and rely on them for emotional support in the way that many women do with their friend groups is an excellent first step. Dogs. If we helped, then it wouldn't be suicide. This is 91% upvoted. I have ever seen such a thing on Reddit. Stop pushing stereotypes on them. Semi-related. I got an ad, and noticed that if you search leadership summer camps for boys you'll come up short, while there are a bunch for girls. This isn't really that huge deal, just annoyed me. Just because the generation before us youth was sexist, doesn't mean only girls need empowerment. This isn't specifically about summer camps, I'm just venting. Provide more support. I think a big problem is this attempt to domesticate us. It feels like we can't do anything fun anymore in cities without breaking some sort of safety law. The biggest thing would be giving men a place to do stupid and dangerous things. That's what we were built to do. Boys need strong male figures to follow. If not possible, teach them healthy masculine traits such as standing up for themselves and others. A serious part of it is divorce and executing their bond of a father. Teach them good work ethic, good study techniques, to stand strong, to be social, to work out. I'm no expert, but the military taught me these traits when I was a piece of shit and really shaped me up. I know some say provide opportunities and more platonic friendships, but man, that's easy to say, but hard to actually execute. I've had two buddies off themselves. One a veteran, so there were other issues there. And no matter how many reached out, how much counseling was provided, to include hospitalization, they seemed hell-bent on ending it regardless of life situation. It was either I gave up half of my week or weekends to show them I cared and others cared, or vice versa, they go back into suicide mode when they can't reach me while I'm trying to enjoy a much-needed vacation. It was fucking exhausting, and these were both two guys with more opportunities, activities, and resources at their disposal than your average guy wanting to end it. I really didn't know how much more we could have done, but oddly, now that both are gone, I'm at peace. Enjoying life and happy just over a year later that it's finally over and I can focus on my life full time. It may be sad to say, and I'm being honest here, but when you're fighting constantly to show people close to you that they are loved, have friends and people that care for them constantly to a point where it negatively affects your life and sucks your own spirit from your body when it was over and they did what they had threatened for months/years of our lives, my life improved dramatically after a month or two of mourning. I spoke with a psychologist about this feeling and he said it's normal for someone platonic to feel this way. I almost felt evil for thinking like this. I could only imagine what relatives and lovers go through. Just an awful situation. I understand many can be saved, but damn. I sometimes wonder if, without permanent hospitalization, anything can be done for some people. I know I'll get the "well, yes, there is so much more than can be done." And I'm going to respond with, have at it. Shit was fucking exhausting, and my old high school friend almost took me down the dark path with him. I became depressed just trying to bring him out of depression. Let us cry. So, if we want to bring down this percentage, we need to encourage women to use more lethal attempts than men. Women are 3 times as likely to attempt suicide, men are just more successful. Men tend to choose more violent methods, guns, hanging, jumping from high places. Women less violent methods, pills, cutting wrists, carbon monoxide cars. The ability to see a professional without the fear of crippling debt would be nice. Stop thinking that mental issues can be cured with just medication. We need close bonds and someone to talk to if we have a rough day, week, or month too. I almost lost my closest friend to suicide, and now I make sure I text him if I don't see him at school. Better wages. Men are ordained to providers, but it's getting harder to provide for oneself, let alone a family. Access to mental health providers without a ton of middlemen. When you're down, even mundane chores are a challenge. Getting help shouldn't be a hassle. This one is tough, but tighter access to firearms. It makes suicide very easy. Too easy. I thank God that I don't have easy access to them. I might have thought about it. In summation, we can elect Bernie Sanders, that would help the most. Make it so that men feel comfortable coming forward. Christ, it feels like everything that we see in life is talking about how men need to be tough, and not show any emotions, and it's total bullshit. If we could change the climate so that men aren't forced into these boys don't cry type situations, maybe men won't feel like they can't talk to anyone. Gift them a video game. Fight gender imbalance thinking. When people say it's a man's role to reply with equality for all genders means all roles are open in modern equal society. I'm pretty sure forced cock and ball tortures will pump it up to at least 80%. Destigmatize mental health and therapy. Treat mental health like physical health. Free access to health care. Destigmatize and legalize prostitution. Affordable secondary education. Stronger emphasis on learning a trade. Income equality. Treat mental illness and depression as the real crisis that they are. Stop stigmatizing mental illness. Hug them. Don't tell them they are oppressing everyone or that masculinity is toxic. Be nice to people. Every person you come into contact with. You never know what they are going through. You make an impact on the world whether you realize it or not. Victory hand, Americas. Stop shaming them for simply being men. White men especially are some of the most attacked and shamed demographics in the world. For many cases, mental health problems start in adolescence, so look to providing resources for schools and extracurricular clubs. These could be things like teaching mindfulness, compassion-focused therapy, general psychology and healthy living. Making children and young adults more active in learning the importance of self-care and independence, so teaching things like finance, budgeting, CV writing, cooking, how to use public transport like buses and trains. Making sex education clearer and less taboo, because for anyone going through puberty, it can be hard trying to figure out on your own how your body is maturing. Also investing more in pastoral care in schools for counselors and careers advisors, as well as putting more encouragement into communication and feedback between pupils and teachers about how they find things in lessons, homework, or at school generally. Providing extracurricular activities, clubs and holiday groups for children and teens in distressful family situations. Giving them the chance to let off steam, make friends outside of school, and learn new interests. Universal healthcare. Unfortunately, half of the political environment refuses to subscribe to universal healthcare, climate change and a more livable wage. I was just talking with a psychologist who specialized in suicide, and I asked him that very question. Basically, he told me that suicide often comes from a refusal to live negative sentiments. Men are told that they have to be strong, and that it's shameful to show weakness, vulnerability and emotion. When they go through tough times, not only do they not have the tools to understand and deal with their feelings, but the last thing they'll try to do is the one thing they should do, seek help. I have no one. More affordable access to mental health care, A public effort to reduce stigma about mental health and masculinity, reducing access to firearms. Those with firearms in the home are more likely to successfully complete suicide attempts, and having more practitioner awareness about potential side effects of antidepressants including SSRIs. Some experience an uptick in depression and suicidality after being prescribed certain medications, so follow-up visits with psychiatrists are essential. It should be worth noting in response to the third point that women attempt suicide more frequently than men, but men's suicide attempts have far higher success rates. Due to the methods of suicide chosen, women more frequently attempt overdose deaths and slit wrists, which have low success rates and are often treatable with emergency medical intervention.